Hello, welcome to the Beard Out Podcast. Podcast where we talk about the two greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al Yankovic. My Aunt Lala and my dad are the hosts of the show. Thanks for listening to the Beard Out Podcast, part of the OddPods Media Network. Stay weird and enjoy the show.
Hey, it's Dalton.
And Sam.
We want to tell you about our podcast called Big Ten Plus 4.
Are you a college football fan who doesn't want to always be talking about the SEC?
Are you a college basketball fan who's tired of hearing how the Big Ten doesn't win in the big dance?
Then we're the show for you. Check us out each week on the OddPods Media Network. We bring you college sports with a Big Ten flavor.
Big Ten Plus 4. College sports with Midwest perspective. Blue collar and blue blood.
Theme song incoming.
Oh, hey, how are you doing? Have a seat. Have a drink. Boy, I can glad to see you. Want to come in and say? Where's Lala?
Oh my God, folks. Today is the day that I have been waiting for since before I knew today was the day that I have been waiting for. Today is the day that Weird, the Al Yankovic Story begins streaming exclusively on Roku. But this is the Beard Al Podcast. It's a podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And this is a very special episode on a very special day. And I have with me the man who, unbeknownst to both of us, was here with me when we manifested this film into existence. Robert, thank you for coming back to the Beard Out Podcast. How are you?
I'm doing great, Lauren. Thank you for having me. And I always forget if I'm supposed to crack my beer. When is the cue exactly for that? So I'm going to do it now. And then the beer that I have is actually part of. I'm back to manifest more things, essentially. So I have to jump into that, and then we could talk about. We have so much to talk about today. That's the thing. We're like tingling with excitement. I have the Golden Monkey from Victory Brewing in Downingtown, Pennsylvania.
So good.
It's a Belgian style triple ale with added spice, 9.5%. So if I get loopy by the end of this episode, that's why. And the reason I chose it is because it sounds kind of like an award with golden in the title. In fact, it sounds, I think there's in the film Tropic Thunder, I think there is like there's a fake trailer at the beginning where winner of the Golden Monkey. I think it was something like that. So there's obviously a new song, which we'll get to, I'm sure, in this movie. And there's been already some murmurs about, well, Al could technically get an Oscar nomination. So I'm here to manifest that. Obviously, the Oscars, they're meaningless. Why does everything have to be about awards? Yeah. But how cool would it be to, after this movie comes out, Academy Award nominee, or at least maybe winner, but we'll get at least for the nomination right now. But Academy Award nominee, Weird Al Yankovic. Like, let's manifest that.
I would like to manifest that. And I feel like between you and me, now again, people, I'm going to put the link to that past episode in the show notes for this because this was many, many moons ago. It was the first time you were on this show. We talked about the Funny or Die trailer about Weird Al Yankovic Story. And our basic thesis was make this freaking movie.
Yeah. I even looked it up. We recorded it and it was posted in February of 2021. January 2022, they're like, it's happening. And you and I were like, what? I didn't, like, less than a year later, it's destiny works fast, Lauren.
It does. And literally, I am not even I'm not even making this up. I just got goosebumps about that whole thing. So that is I am so excited that my body is actually reacting to it. So this is so exciting. But I'm going to mention my beer here really quick at the top. I have a beer from Equilibrium Brewery in Middletown, New York. So we're both in the tri-state area with our drinks today, which I think is since we both live in Florida.
Yeah.
But this is a double India Pale Ale that's 8.5% alcohol by volume. So I'm not quite where you are, but I'm close. And it's called Galaxy Flare because I hope this movie changes the universe.
Ooh, I like it.
So, yeah, I'm so freaking excited about this. And like, we talked when we talked last about how great the cast of the Funny or Die trailer was. I am really, really excited about the cast of this film because there are so many fun little surprises that I can't wait to see how it shakes out.
Yeah. It's an interesting it's an interesting situation that this movie is in because, to my knowledge, the most prominent fake trailer to actual movie that I remember is Machete, because that trailer that Robert Rodriguez did was in the 2007 film Grindhouse at the very beginning, and they were like, "Yeah, this is just." I wrote like half a movie, and I was like, "We can cut this into a trailer," kind of thing. And then Grindhouse did well, and they actually made that movie, and it came out, I think, in 2010. So other than that, I can't. There's not really much precedent for this happening. So have this having 12 years later, obviously there's a cast turnover. I don't know if a lot of those actors who played the roles 12 years ago are necessarily age appropriate for this. But either way, like it's both casts are really impressive. I think the only holdover that I can see is Patton Oswalt, who has a cameo in Weird, and obviously played Dr. Demento in the original Funny or Die trailer. What are your thoughts generally on the cast and obviously Mr. Daniel Radcliffe himself?
Yeah. So I am really glad that you asked me that because my immediate circle, my like secondary circle, and like people that are just like out in the stratosphere of people that I know. So like anybody who knows me, I think I'm in like the Rolodex, the Weird Al file, the Rolodex file in people's brain for Weird Al.
Yeah.
Obviously. And that's fine.
You did it to yourself, Lauren. That's the case.
I leaned into that skid and it's okay.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be known for anything, this is a beautiful thing to be known for. And so I'm not even mad about it at all. But like everybody was asking me, what do you think about Harry Potter playing Weird Al? And I'm like, first of all, it's not Harry Potter playing Weird Al. It's Daniel Radcliffe, who played Harry Potter, is also playing Weird Al. And I'm like, I trust Weird Al implicitly to handle something like this in the most perfect way, because I know that Weird Al doesn't do anything by accident. He thinks these things through and he knows exactly what he's doing with something like this. And I was initially like, that's an interesting choice, but I trust him. And so like, I have never had an ounce of doubt in my body about this casting choice for the titular role of Weird, the Al Yankovic Story. And it's my understanding that Al basically, it was solidified for him when he saw Daniel Radcliffe on the Graham Norton show flawlessly execute Tom Lahr's The Elements song. And he goes, this guy gets it. And I'm like, okay, this makes sense. And I love Daniel Radcliffe in Guns Akimbo.
Yeah.
And that's the energy that this needs. And so, again, like I said, I never once was like, oh, that's a weird choice. It's going to be like, oh, you're the weird one, Harry. Like, that's been bothering me this whole time. It's like, no, that's not what he's bringing to this at all. He's going to bring all of the weird. So what were your thoughts? Did you feel similarly, differently?
No, I agree with you. I was like, that's interesting. I would have never thought of Daniel Radcliffe. The thing that I find fascinating about the two of them is that they actually both seem legitimately like good people in real life, first of all. So I'm sure they connected on that level. They're both icons, and yet they both seem weirdly grounded. You've seen Daniel Radcliffe in like any like interview or whatever, like he's very chill and seems very at peace with the fact that he is Harry Potter and he's always going to be known as Harry Potter. And he's just like, yeah, that's part of my career. I get it. In the same way that Weird Al is like, yeah, everybody knows me for the parodies, but I have a lot more to bring. And some people see it and some people don't. And that's their business. I'm just doing my own thing. But you see some of the performances that Daniel Radcliffe's done post Potter. in Swiss Army Man, the air quotes farting corpse movie. From the Daniels, who now did Everything Everywhere All at Once. That both of those films obviously are great, and people should check those out. Things like Horns, even like the quirky supporting role he had in The Lost City this year. Like Daniel Radcliffe does not, he doesn't really lean. He's leaning into a character actor sort of zone. He's not really interested in being a traditional leading man generally, and I think that bodes well for a role like this, where you can't kind of half commit to it. You have to just go for it and trust the material. And to your point about Weird Al's instincts with these things, this is co-written by Weird Al and Eric Appel, who also who wrote and directed the short 12 years ago. So I clearly Al is he didn't just sign off on it and be like, yeah, go ahead, have at it. He's creatively involved every step of the way. And one funny bit of trivia that I discovered is that apparently UHF came out like July 21st, 1989, and Daniel Radcliffe was born July 23rd, 1989, 2 days later. So I'm in my head canon, Al was sitting there after opening weekend of UHF, and he's like, you know what? We should make a biopic of me. The right person was just born. We just got to wait a few decades. And then we'll make that production happen. And it's just been a matter of kind of waiting the clock out for Daniel Radcliffe to be the right age.
Oh my God, that's absolutely beautiful. And I will buy that completely. Like, this is the universe lining things up the way that it needed to happen. Because again, galaxy flare, like my beer, this is the universe lining things up.
Yep.
This was supposed to happen the way that it happened. And that's why it's happening this way. And oh my God, I feel like the world is in the place where I have said this to so many people on so many different occasions at this point about this movie. And like, my stock answer has been, Weird Al is not giving us the movie that we want. Weird Al is giving us the movie that we need.
Yeah.
And
I'll buy that.
Like, everything lined up for it to be the movie that we need, like when we need it. And okay, this is how well I know Alfred Matthew Yankovic and the way things work. Because in January, when the filming for this all started, right? Whenever the filming started, okay, they filmed it all in 18 days. And it was like, holy crap. And then people started asking me, like, well, when do you think it's coming out? When do you think it's coming out? Now, they kept saying like late 2022, blah, 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 blah. And then I looked at the schedule for the unfortunate return of the ridiculously self-indulgent, ill-advised vanity tour. And I was like, okay, well, that ends on October 29th, which incidentally is my birthday. And I said, Coy, that ends on October 29th. So I'm going to guess that this is going to come out within the first 2 weeks of November.
Yeah, there you go.
And when it got announced that it was November 4th, I was like, would you look at that? Would you look at that? So
well, he needs time he needs to free up his schedule for the press circuit. I don't know if he's going to be popping up on the Wired autocomplete interview and like what is it? One of them does like a lie detector test, all the viral videos to promote this movie, because he's done Hot Ones. He did that a few years ago. So I don't know if he's going to be on like Kimmel and all these shows like promoting this, or maybe he just wants to bask in the glory that is his new film. And, I'm sure they'll film a video or something for the new song. By the way, when you saw him live, because we both saw him in Florida during the tour, did he tease that he was going to perform Now You Know, and then was like, but we can't do that. Here's the song from my last movie, UHF.
No, he didn't do that because he didn't play UHF at my show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he played UHF when I saw him back in May, but we didn't know about the song back in May.
Right. Okay. That's funny.
So that's interesting that he does that. That's great. No, he was just super chill. I would have mentioned it in the recap episode if that was a thing that he did, but he didn't. So he didn't. Yeah, he kept it real. He kept it real, just like, but you could tell that I sensed a change in that. Like, the show was fantastic. Everything was great about it. But I could tell that he's almost done with this, and I think his brain is ready to go to that. He's done with the tour. He's ready to go to the concert. I mean, it's going to be great for those folks that because yes, we're recording this before, but this will be in the past. For those that had tickets to the Carnegie Hall show on the 29th of October,
Right.
I'm sure like that was a beautiful send off for this due to all the practice that you needed to get to Carnegie Hall. But yeah, I am so ready for, film film
It took a second, but the Carnegie Hall joke, I did get it. It was just a second too late, and you continued talking. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna call it out now, even though I just did. But well played.
Thank you. I do what I can. It's been the practice of doing this freaking podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But let's talk about who is in this movie outside of Daniel Radcliffe, who we already mentioned. Because we know what we know about the Funny or Die trailer, obviously, that came out, 12 years ago. So there was the whole Madonna connection, which you and I talked about relatively extensively about how it took that like kernel of truth and blew it up. And I have a feeling that blow it up even bigger. And so we have Evan Rachel Wood as Madonna. And I saw the pictures of her in this role and I was like, okay, that totally works. I'm admittedly not super duper familiar with like her body of work. I did see Across the Universe and oh God, what was the other thing that I saw that she was in? That might be all I really know, but like she's one of those actresses that like I know her and I was like, okay, she can do, but I saw the way she looked and I was like, all right, she can definitely pull this off. And then I saw some bits from the trailer and I was like sold even more.
Right. Yeah. No, she's a great fit for this. I find the whole Madonna thing interesting because the Weird Al, as I'm sure, as you've said many times on the show, is a very generally clean, family-friendly artist, and yet the Madonna thing, it feels like as it's as risque as Weird Al is willing to go, in the trailer specifically, and the sort of relationship that they have, which I think is it's fun that he's toying with that in the way that he is.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like it's because he's at the point where he can. His legacy as what he is solidified and he can keep playing with it now. He had to be super careful. I would say up until even relatively recently, he had to be super careful with his legacy until probably that last album came out. He had to be mindful of like what it was he was doing and what that was going to mean. But in the post like recording career Weird Al that time that we're living in, I feel like he's had more fun.
Yeah, I think so.
And
he hasn't had contracts to like have to live up to or anything as much.
Yeah. So he's just been able to be weird and just kind of do it. He's always been subversive. Okay. Like there's always been that stuff that like, I don't know if you saw it, but it made me mad for like a day and a half. There was some review of one of the stops on the unfortunate return of the ridiculously self-indulgent and ill-advised vanity tour. And this local paper sent somebody there who totally didn't get what Al was doing and got up on some sort of high horse about how everything was like, oh God, like disturbing and basically it just really leaned into how disturbing his lyrics are. But it's like, okay, yeah, they're disturbing at face value, but there are layers of nuance to it that this reviewer clearly didn't get. And I love that Weird Al, you could tell like he's not the kind of person that gets mad or stays mad, but you can tell that he was still kind of rankled by it.
Yeah.
Because one of the songs that he introduced when I saw him recently, he was like, so the lyrics to this may be disturbing.
What song was it?
Oh my God. I can't even, I remember the moment, but I can't honestly, they're all kind of disturbing in their own way.
Because the first one that popped into my head is why does this always happen to me? With the car crash, the blood and guts and vital organs splattered everywhere. That whole thing. And I was like, I could see if you're like, this is a little excessive. Even Albuquerque, which my 5-year-old daughter likes to listen to a lot. There's things in there about biting people's jugulars and things like that. Where if you're like, if you're painting a word picture, I guess I could see that, but it's also like, it's Weird Al. I mean, he's not intentional. He's not trying to make waves. Exactly.
It was I Remember Larry.
Okay.
Yeah, about all the bad stuff that Larry does, and then all the bad stuff that happened to Larry.
Right.
On account of the stuff that he did. It was that, because I'm looking at the set list that I had, and that had to be the song that it said that, because everything else is disturbing, but not like that disturbing. Unless my threshold for what's disturbing is off, which it very well might be.
I mean, I would say the Emo Phillips material is a lot darker than anything Weird Al does on that stage.
Oh, for sure. I mean, to that point, because we're talking about the movie, I was surprised, and I guess not, maybe because we're in this whole vanity tour thing with emo opening for him and stuff like that. I was surprised that there was not even there's no nod to emo in the cast, because there's nobody playing Emo Phillips. But then again, who could play Emo Phillips?
Just get Emo Phillips to play himself. I mean, honestly.
I mean, he's kind of ageless.
Yeah. It's like, because some of the characters, the real life people who pop up in this film as characters are around that era. It's like almost like if Elvira were to pop up, like you could still get Elvira to pop up. It's like some of these stars basically look relatively the same as they did like 40 years ago. So I think that would, I think that would make sense. And plus, I'm sure there's a ton more that we don't know about, cameos and things. And actually, that's something I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
In the trailer, we see the origin, the supposed origin of My Bologna, which is hilarious. Do you think we're gonna get a lot of Easter eggs, like on Al's refrigerator there's a postcard from the biggest ball and twine in Minnesota, or like things like that? How much do you think they're going to lean into the iconography that is Al's career?
I would be surprised if they didn't lean into it pretty hard, and that's why. So for fans of the Beard Owl podcast, there's going to be a crap ton of content about this. Because the movie comes out today. Like, as you're hopefully listening to this in the morning of November 4th, you listen to this, get yourself amped up, have a Weird Al Mosa or something along those lines, and then watch the movie this afternoon, because later on today, on the day that this is coming out and you're watching this, I'm going to watch it. I took the afternoon off of work to watch it. And I'm going to put like my immediate reaction video up on the Infectious Groove YouTube channel, so people can immediately see what I think about these things. And then I'll probably watch it a couple more times, because then a week from today, my brother John and I are going to do our full-on reaction to the film. So I'll probably have watched it several times, and I will probably have found a couple more Easter eggs than I did after my first viewing, because I'm going to watch it first just to enjoy it. So my initial reaction is going to be just me like sitting back with some popcorn and just really enjoying the heck out of this film. And then I'm going to get the magnifying glass out and see what I can find.
Fair. Yeah. Because it would feel like a real missed opportunity if they're not like, he's casually eating a Twinkie wiener sandwich or things like that. Things that the fans expect to see. One thing that I did love, like I used Machete earlier as an example of a fake trailer turned movie, is that some of those scenes are, I think, directly carried over into the film. And then some of them are, reshot and expanded on and kind of switched up in different ways. I love that the line that I think we both referenced in that other episode about him, I'm the weird one, and him shouting that to his bandmates. That seems like it's 100% in the film. And I'm glad that that's the case, because that feels like a real, the potential to be a real standout moment.
For sure. I'm the weird one. Yeah, it's like that is the moment. Like, that's such a big moment. I'm so excited about that. Like, you can't even believe it. But oh God, yeah. Dr. Demento obviously has to be there. And I was kind of tickled by Rainn Wilson playing Dr. Demento. I'm like here for that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if you I thought Patton was good, but I think Rainn Wilson is a solid choice as well. I'm glad because Patton Oswalt strikes me as a very much a Weird Al fan. So I'm glad that he's involved in some way. So I that's the one thing that I was like, yeah, you could totally keep him on, put a fake beard on him. But Rainn Wilson maybe has, I don't know, maybe he has a little bit more range on screen. I'm not sure I'd be curious to find out what the casting process was for this movie and why they got some people back and then other people didn't. Did they make an offer to Aaron Paul, or is Aaron Paul now 12 years older and therefore not as age appropriate for the role? I'd be curious to find that out.
Yeah, because I think Aaron Paul still could have done it because, I mean, he's aged, but he's not aged so much that like he couldn't do it.
Right.
I'm gonna guess that a lot of it had to do with scheduling and just things along those lines. You know, some of it probably wasn't like creative choices, but either way, I'm glad Patton Oswalt has his moment in the film anyway. And I'm very excited to see what Rainn Wilson does with the role of Dr. Demento, because I think Rainn Wilson possesses Dr. Demento's. He's goofy, but he's also kind of dry.
Mm-hmm.
And Rainn Wilson definitely has that dry thing that Dr. Demento delivers on. And that's why people like the Dr. Demento show in the first place, you know, because there's, yes, you know, it's silly and goofy and it's novelty songs. And I'm using my Dr. Evil quotes here because I don't like the term novelty song, even though that's what these things are known as. Because novelty songs have a depth to them that you have to have a certain kind of perception to get. And I think that Rainn Wilson is going to be able to give the Dr. Demento role the seriousness that it deserves in Weird Al's career. Like, we wouldn't have Weird Al without Dr. Demento. And we also wouldn't have Weird Al without Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you see who's playing Michael Jackson in this, by the way?
I did not. Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is Michael Jackson in this film.
Huh. I don't even know how to feel about that. I need to see it in context, I think. Big Michael Jackson fan, big Lin-Manuel Miranda fan. So I need to see how that would work.
Here's my pre-take on it.
Yeah.
Because when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And Lin-Manuel Miranda, I always trip over his name and I feel real bad about it because I think it's the N going into the M that my mouth can't do properly. But Lin-Manuel Miranda is such a big Weird Al fan that he respects the lore of this. And I feel like he's going to properly carry the weight of the role of Michael Jackson in Weird Al's career. And I absolutely love that Michael Jackson is included in this movie because there are far too many people that like want to kind of cut Michael Jackson out of things like this. Mm-hmm. But he was so instrumental and he was so kind to Weird Al. He left the set of Bad up so Weird Al could do the Fat video, you know, like, I'm sorry. That is a kindness from one artist to another that I absolutely cannot ignore. And I am so happy that somebody who appreciates Weird Al's career the way that he does and is a brilliant artist in his own right is going to, I mean, if you look kind of at the cast list, he's very close to the end. So I don't think the Michael Jackson role is a big role, but I think the nod absolutely had to be there because of the importance of Michael Jackson in Weird Al's career. I'm glad it's somebody like Lin-Manuel Miranda who is playing that role because I think it will be both funny and respectful.
Yeah. I definitely. I'm curious to see how that works. The one that I'm really curious about is Jorma Taccone as Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
We previously on my show, Franchise Detours, did an episode on Pee Wee's Big Adventure, Big Top Pee Wee, and Pee Wee's Big Holiday.
Yes,
so we clearly have a mutual love of Pee Wee Herman as well. So I'm curious to see how that works. Plus, I also, whenever I see that sort of passing of the torch of Weird Al working with the Lonely Island and working with, Garfunkel and Oates and collaborating with all these other, Tenacious D and Jack Black, who's also in here. Whenever you see that sort of the comedy music icons sort of working together, that always warms my heart, because it's like you were saying about the novelty idea of it all, is that yes, these songs are kind of put in that general basket because they're silly. They're not like, they wouldn't be on mainstream radio or whatever you want to call it. But they're the reason they endure, and Weird Al is probably the best example of this, is because not only the intelligence in the writing, but because the quality of the performance and the instrumentation and the way that the music is made. Like you see it every time you go to one of those shows, the talent in that band. And if you put more traditional lyrics on it, it would still work as a song because there's a foundation upon which to build the jokes. So I love that. I love that they're he's honoring that, the artists that he's inspired by involving a bunch of them in this project and, working on other videos and such over the years.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And what a freaking honor it must be to be recognized by Weird Al for doing that, for doing the thing that he inspired you to do.
Yeah.
And I say that as somebody who Weird Al recognizes because I love him so much and I have this podcast about him, but I'm not doing the thing that he does because I recognize how difficult comedy music is. And I know I could not do it. I can appreciate it with the best of them, but I could not do it.
Right.
Comedy is hard.
It is.
So,
but he does love your podcast, though. We know that much. That is clear.
That is clear. I have it in writing.
Exactly.
Framed on my wall. So, I've got that. That's probably what's going to go on my tombstone or whatever. Weird Al loved her podcast. That's it. That's the greatest thing that's ever going to happen to me. But yeah, I think it's absolutely great that that Yorma Taccone is Pee Wee Herman, and I'm very curious. I think I obviously understand why Pee Wee Herman is in the movie, but and then you're looking at this and Hulk Hogan? Why?
Just so you know, you're in the 80s, I guess.
I think that's going to be very interesting. I need to mention how much I love the fact that Nina West, who's one of my favorite drag queens, is portraying Divine in this film.
Yeah.
I think that's delightful. And I think that, now hear me on this, because I need this. If we're manifesting things here on this show, which we prove positive.
That's certainly what we do. Yeah.
That's what we do. I'm a big fan of RuPaul's Drag Race. And one of the things that I love is that sometimes that they have a guest judge every week. And sometimes the main challenge on the show is focused around what it is the guest judge does. And I feel like there is a big intersection between what Weird Al does and a lot of the things that drag queens do. It's a very similar level of comedy. And Nina West was one of my absolute favorites on her season of RuPaul's Drag Race. And she has gone on to write children's books, and she's very kind. She was Miss Congeniality of her season, and her humor is right in line with Weird Al. So what I would like to manifest would be to have Weird Al be a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race, because I could see that working really well, and have the queens have to write parodies.
Yeah, that would work. I mean, Weird Al is, as people are listening to this on my podcast, we just finished up 8 episodes on the Muppets, and they pop up everywhere in pop culture even when you're not expecting them to. So at this point, there's not really anything Weird Al could do that would surprise me per se, other than make this movie, I guess, because I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
So no, that would be, and it's a sly little cross promotional opportunity, and I love that idea. I think that would be really cool.
For all I know, it could already be happening. It could already be in the works with the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race, and in conjunction with the movie. Who even knows? But I'm just saying that for years I've been saying that I want this to happen. So now I'm putting it out there on this show with you, because it's clearly you and I on this show that make things happen. Because we're the reason this movie happened, and I will not accept any opinions or words to the contrary.
You should have told him when you saw him. You're welcome for the movie, by the way.
I
He'd be like, what?
spent too much time thanking him for everything he's done for me instead of saying, "You're welcome. I manifested your movie." Who knows? Maybe that's what he's doing this morning. Instead of watching his own film on Roku, where it's streaming exclusively on Roku, maybe instead of watching it, he's listening to this podcast.
There you go. He's getting ready to watch his own movie, and he's like, I have to see what Lauren's looking forward to about the film.
See what Lauren thinks first. Well, Al, I'm going to love it. I'm very excited about it. Like, no, this has kind of been like everybody at work. I have meetings where I log on to meetings, and if it's somebody who hasn't been in like one of our regular meetings in a while, they're like, "Hey, Lauren, you excited for the Weird Al movie?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I'm like, I took that afternoon off of work, so that's why I'm not here in the afternoon on the 4th, because I'm going to be watching the Weird Al movie, because I'm a grown adult and I can take time off for whatever I want to take time off for.
Exactly.
I'm off to watch the Weird Al movie.
You're dedicated to creating content too. You're not only watching it, you have this episode coming, you have the instant reaction to it coming, you have, you have to stay on your beat, basically, is what it is. So that makes sense. You're like, oh, I'd love to, but I have to work on my other job, which is devoting my life to Weird Al, when I'm not in the office.
Yeah, pretty much, man. But like, full disclosure, I totally would have taken the afternoon off anyway.
Well, yeah, but you have a valid excuse, is my point.
I have a valid excuse now. So no, I've got my podcast. I have people that are looking to see what my reaction is like pretty quickly.
Yeah, clearly, anytime any Weird Al news breaks, your DMs are flooded with people bringing the same thing to your attention over and over.
Oh my god! At the same time, I'm like, well, that's really sweet that people think of me with that, but like, also, do you know who I am?
Right.
And do you think I don't know this? Like, and then that's where my brain goes to well, what would Weird Al do in this moment? So I'm always very kind to anybody does that to me. Like they say, I'm like, oh, thank you. But I'm also like, oh, I
got it. I'm aware of it. Like, yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, check my Twitter feed before you message me and see if I've commented on the news.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Oh my god, it's like it's nuts. But I mean, I can't fault people for it. Like if they're like this Weird Al thing and think of me, like let it happen. It's totally fine. I'm more than happy to again be associated with that in people's brains. It's better than being associated with a whole lot of other things.
This is true.
Anybody, like I said, I'm just trying to look. Okay, the one that struck me super funny in this cast list was Conan O'Brien as Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm trying to wrap my brain around where Andy Warhol would even be in this film.
I know. Well, we know that based on both trailers that they're playing fast and loose with Weird Al's story. Like clearly the bullet points, Dr. Demento and things like that are based in reality, but everything else is just kind of spinning off into its own little universe. So who knows at this point? Like this could be a revisionist history thing, like what Tarantino's done with a lot of his more recent movies. Like who knows where Al's journey is going to go in this film? I feel like it could start where we expect it to and then go completely off the rails. I almost kind of want that to happen because I think that would feel like a Weird Al song adapted to a feature film. But as long as first of all, I love that they're riffing on his career in sort of a Walk Hard-esque manner, like all about that. I only saw that movie for the first time, I think like a year or so ago. And I was like, I should have been watching this the whole time because I'm such a fiend for parodies in general.
Oh, well, before you even go any further, I just have to say,
I'm warning you with peace and love.
I hit the wrong button. I hit my Ringo button. I meant to say was this.
The wrong kid died.
well, yes, we know that. Oh,
God, my buttons! I'm all I can't even read my own buttons anymore. Anyway, Ringo surprise appearance.
yeah. um, but I love that he's doing sort of a walk hard version of his career. I think that's hilarious. But the other thing that's cool, and this is probably maybe why Rainn Wilson over Patton Oswalt, things like that, actors that can maybe give it a little more gravitas and can extend it for feature length treatment, is that it feels like it's, in addition to being really funny and really silly and really off the wall with where the story goes. Because as far as we know, Weird Al never had drug or alcohol problems. He never had a relationship with them. Obviously, this is just purely a work of fiction, like 80% of the time. I love that it seems, based on the trailer, that the movie is sort of honoring the message of Weird Al about being true to yourself and all that stuff. Like I still get a little bit of like a few chills watching the trailer when at the end, when he's like, just be as weird as you want to be, like that whole thing. Cause it feels like it's representing what Weird Al stands for, in addition to just being a really crazy movie. And I love that they're kind of hitting both of those, because the original trailer was just, it was funny, but the joke only had to span 2 minutes. And so they didn't have to worry about giving it any more depth or any more, reflection on his career. Then wouldn't that be weird if they made a movie about Weird Al? Like what kind of story? Like they did the Behind the Music a million years ago on VH1 about Weird Al. And he's like, I don't know. I haven't had any crazy, any substance abuse problems or anything. I'm just pretty normal or whatever. And so they're like, what would that look like? And so I love that this movie seems like it's digging a little bit deeper, and it's still giving us what we expect.
Yes, 100%. It's like, this is absolutely the successor to The Complete Al from 1985, the mockumentary that he made about his quote unquote life. And anytime anybody, I'm going to do it. I don't even care at this point. There are people in, various Weird Al Facebook groups and things like that seem legitimately confused. Daniel Radcliffe looks nothing like Weird Al. He never had a relationship with Madonna, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, but like, get the joke though.
Yeah.
Like this is what's happening. Like, did you see The Complete Al? Absolutely. Michael Jackson's house was not, this weird fortress with, a guard that kind of ushered Al into a room to have this thing happen. That's not how that happened at the time. And there are so many things in The Complete Al that were not accurate. There were things that were, like, it was his real parents in it for sure. But yeah. This is the biopic version of The Complete Al. So it's going to have the same flavor to it. And I might have to watch The Complete Al on like Thursday.
Could you do an episode on The Complete Al too? I'm just trying to add more work to your plate, Lauren.
Not before that, but maybe.
Well, if we ever get you back on my show on Close Watch, maybe we'll have to do The Complete Al as a companion piece to our UHF episode or something.
Oh yeah, I would actually love that. I think that would be wonderful. There was one night, probably about a year ago, I drunk tweeted a watching of The Complete Al. I ended up it was ridiculous. But yeah, that was the last time I saw it. And I was just like, man, I think it was around when they announced the movie. Yes, that's probably when it was. It was around when they announced the movie. I was like, oh, I'm going to watch The Complete Al. And so I did it, and I drank a whole lot of wine, and I watched The Complete Al, and I was just like live tweeting it, stuff that I forgot was even in it. But that's gonna be the flavor, because that's what Weird Al's humor is. I'm very much in a state of expect the unexpected, because that's what you should expect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hope for the unexpected at this point.
Yeah, because what even can you expect? One thing that I did notice was that, did you see who's playing Al's dad in this film?
I did.
Toby Huss. Toby played an instrumental role in my childhood as he was Artie on The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Oh, wow.
And so the strongest man in the world. And I'm very excited to see what he brings to the role of Weird Al's dad.
I know him mostly from Bedazzled from 2000. That's
Oh
what
my
I recognize
God.
from.
Yeah, so it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
It's going to be absolutely wild. And I'm also curious about the whole Oprah situation. Because Weird Al posted on Twitter relatively recently an actual interview that he did with Oprah around this time. It's like no, this isn't Quinta Brunson. This is actual Oprah.
Was there anything of significance in that interview that would be like, oh, we got to include that in the movie?
No, it was very much a product of its time type interview.
Right. Okay.
So
so he's. I wonder in this film if he's going to do like some Tom Cruise-esque jumping on the sofa or something. Like what direction is he going to go with it? Is my question.
oh God, I hope so. I hope maybe like he's the reason that Oprah got like nationally syndicated, or he's the reason that all these things.
This could totally go like Forrest Gump direction. Like the world as we know it is only formed because Weird Al's touched all these lives along the way. Like who knows where they're going to take this?
God, because like you look at the cast anyway. Like who's in this movie? Divine is in it. Pablo Escobar, Andy Warhol, Wolfman Jack, Pee Wee Human.
Eva Schaefer as Alice Cooper. I'm intrigued by that. Again, as a Lonely Island fan, you got 2 out of the 3 guys listed here.
That ain't bad. Meatloaf joke. Say 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, all right, he's got. I literally said it earlier today. Oh gosh, he's got 2 of the guys from Lonely Island, the ones that aren't Andy Samberg.
Yeah, which again could be scheduling. If this was shot over the course of 18 days, they probably locked the schedule and then was like, all right, who kind of can fit there within that at some point. So Andy Samberg is always doing 6,000 things. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean he's clearly all over the place.
Yeah,
Paul F. Tompkins as Gallagher. So that'll be interesting. And then there's an uncredited Gilbert Gottfried, again, which is not surprising that there's a Gilbert Gottfried in the film. I love that Weird Al is also in the movie as one of the Scotti brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and he was in the original trailer as some seemingly as some kind of record producer. In both versions, it seems like he's skeptical about whether anyone would care for Weird Al's music, which is, of course, the kind of humor we expect from Weird Al.
Yeah,
to be in a movie, being like nobody, like in the original trailer, he's like nobody would pay for a parody when they can get the same thing for this, the real thing for the same price or whatever. I'm like, of course, Weird Al would say that.
Of course he would, because I don't think Weird Al even believes that his life happened the way that it happened.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he can even believe that he has done what he has done, or that people love what he has done as much as they do, or that he's touched as many lives as he has. So it makes sense to me when he puts himself in these situations, like nobody's gonna buy parody music, and like part of it's funny, but part of it's like there's part of you that still really thinks that. And
well, can you imagine? You start writing parody songs in like what was he in his late teens, he was in like early 20s when his first album was released. So, and then now being like four decades later, and you're still doing some of the same songs that you wrote like when you were such like a young man, still kind of sort of coming into your own. That's got to be surreal to be, what I don't even know, what is he, like 60 something now, right?
Weird Al
63 and being like, I'm singing songs he wrote when he was like 19, 20, 21. Yeah. That's got to be trippy as heck.
It absolutely has to be. I mean, few people are afforded that opportunity outside of like folks like the Beatles and whatnot,
Yeah.
Like Paul McCartney's probably one of the few people in the world that knows what that feels like. And I'm glad that Weird Al is one of them.
Yeah, same.
I gotta love it. And one thing that did tickle me looking at the cast of this movie, Thomas Lennon appears as an accordion salesman. So
We're totally gonna get that sort of fateful moment where he picks up an accordion and like, oh, like the spotlight shines on him or something.
yep. I'm so ready for that. I'm so ready for that. And I love that it's going to be Thomas Lennon. Uh,
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful because, Weird Al did so much stuff on Reno 911. And did you see Weird Al as Ted Nugent on Reno 911?
No, I don't think I did. I need to check that out.
Oh my God. It's ludicrous. It's insane. I just love that Weird Al's like, yeah, that's weird. I'll do that. Like, I love when Weird Al was Hitler on Drunk History. And I'm like, of course. Okay. That makes sense.
That's why when you said the RuPaul's Drag Race thing, I'm like, oh, that's totally like that's definitely in his wheelhouse to just pop up somewhere randomly.
This is
Uh,
the thing.
yeah.
He needs to do it. He needs to do it. Okay, like Weird Al, if you're listening to this, call RuPaul. I think I know people that could probably get you in touch with RuPaul if you can't yourself. But I'm sure it would be easier for you to get in touch with RuPaul than it would for me to get in touch with RuPaul.
I was gonna say, who do you know that can get Weird Al in touch with RuPaul?
I don't know. I'd figure it out. But Weird Al knows Nina West now. Who knows RuPaul?
That's true.
He
That's
can make that happen.
yeah.
Like, come on now. I think it would be great.
Weird Al is 2 degrees from RuPaul now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, come on. Get on the drag race, Weird Al. They're not going to put you in drag. You just have to. I mean, Weird Al was beautiful in drag in the Perform This Way video.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
His face looked great in makeup. So, I mean, I'm just saying, they could do it. But I would just love to see the drag queens do parody songs and to have Weird Al have to be the guest judge on that episode. I think it would be absolutely marvelous and beautiful.
I agree.
So, oh my God. I'm just so excited about this movie. I can't wait for everybody to sit and watch it. I can't wait for me to sit and watch it.
Which by the time people are hearing this, you might already be sitting and watching it.
That's true.
Or on your second or third viewing. Who knows?
Who knows? I just needed to get this out there today because I'm like, man, the movie comes out Fridays. We put out episodes on Fridays. I'm not going to be able to watch it before our episode that day. And literally any other episode of this show I put out this day would be ignored because of the movie.
Right.
So thank you for being here to talk about the movie before we watch the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm partially to blame for the movie's existence, I guess. So I will, of course, we had to do some follow-up now that it's actually here.
I love that you just said that you're partially to blame for something that's wonderful. Because when I talked to Weird Al at the meet and greet last week or whatever it was, I don't know, time is a flat circle. When I did that recently, I told him I was like, man, I have so many good things in my life. And it's because of you, and I pointed at Russ and I was like, I met him because, your music was ultimately the thing that made this happen. I was like, I'm the happiest I've ever been. And then I looked at him and I go, and it's all your fault.
He's like, you're welcome. Yeah. Right. What do you even, what did he take a beat to consider? Like, how do I read this? Like,
no, I mean, like he could tell that like we were happy people. And
yeah.
But, in the moment, I was like, I had to do it the Weird Al way. I'm the happiest I've ever been, and it's all your fault.
Well, he doesn't know about your Weird Al shirt every day thing, right? I can't imagine you have time to cover that in the like brief interaction that they allow you to have before they move you along for the next person.
No, he might. I feel like he kind of has to.
Yeah. Because
I am quoted about it in the extended edition of Weird Al Seriously by Lily Hirsch. And so that's in the book, me talking about wearing Weird Al shirts every day. The hashtag is mentioned in the book. And
so cool.
Weird Al obviously has a copy of the book.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
I'm sure he has downtime on buses. He might have read it. So he's got to know. He's got to know.
Because a lot of positivity in your life is based on what you've said. It sounds like it has come from that. Just connections with random people who are like, oh, Weird Al. I love Weird Al.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's honestly, you just kind of let go and you love the thing that you love and show the world and like you don't care what they think about it. And then you'll be surprised that there are so many people that are on the same weird wavelength as you, or at least like give you props for like waving your flag the way that you do. It's like, all right, whatever. It's super fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
I think the next thing we need to manifest is I think we need to manifest, and I said it earlier, but I think we need to manifest getting Weird Al on the show at some point. I don't know if we can make that happen, but I feel like that it should be able, like, it feels like the natural progression of your show that at some point Weird Al pops on for, I don't know, 10 minutes and you're able to say featuring Weird Al in this episode.
Yeah.
There's a podcast called Meeting Tom Cruise, where these people interview a bunch of people that have met Tom Cruise, worked with him, et cetera, with the ultimate goal of eventually meeting Tom Cruise themselves. And so I feel like you guys need to do that at some point. And I don't know. I'll do whatever I can to make that happen, including using my powers of manifestation.
I feel like your powers of manifestation have clearly been proven already on this show because this movie happened. So yeah, I'm not even asking for him to sit down with me for a full hour. I'm just asking, you're right, like 10 minutes, just be here with me, man. And what I think I need to do is come up with like a topic that he's never talked about before, like in an actual interview. Because I don't want to be like, hey, so you remember Eat It? Do you remember How Much Paradise? I don't need to do that.
What was it? What was Coolio really like? What did he, get this? Yeah, the same stories he's talked about a million times.
Yeah, I don't need any of that. I gotta figure out my angle. And like, he doesn't drink, so I can't be like, oh, so what's your favorite beer? I can't do that. So I've gotta find something. But I mean, Hot Ones gave him those vegan wings, so like I could be like, let's
root beer or something. I'm sure he'll drink a root beer, a ginger beer, or something.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to drink to be on the show. People don't drink on the show all the time. I am the only one who has to. Well, me and Tom, we're the only ones who have to. Everybody else, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, I feel like that actually has to happen. So, it's about time to put a pin in this. And so I want to end this by asking you just one really kind of just answer from your gut sort of question. What are you most excited about for watching this movie, hopefully later today?
I think it's I think it really is all the Easter eggs that we talked about. Like, I want a film that sort of encapsulates not only who Weird Al is, what he stands for, and just like the mythology that Weird Al has sort of spun out of with Harvey the Wonder Hamster and all these other little elements that fans have really latched on. Spatula City, basically everything that's on your shirts, Lauren.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. Like I would love to see this movie sort of capture all of it and have Al sort of treat this as, if I never make another movie, this is like this is the document that is what is Weird Al cinematically, because I'm coming from movie podcasts, obviously, so I would like to see a film that represents all that Al is and has been and what he's meant to all of us. That's what I would love to see. And honestly, I would love to see some streaming service do some more creative stuff with Al. I don't know. Maybe it's Roku channel. Maybe this is his gateway. Maybe this does really well. And then Roku channel is like, oh, we're going to develop, some short films or something. Because I've been listening, obviously we're recording this in October. I've been listening to Nature Trail to Hell a lot because it is the mandated opening track on Lauren's Halloween playlist.
Yep.
And I'm like, why isn't this either a movie or a short film, or like it could be stop motion animated or whatever, something. Like, it feels like there's so much more potential for more either short videos or whatever from him. And I don't know what his relationship is like with the record label, or that would be kind of an obstacle, because they have the rights to those songs and things like that. So I hope it encapsulates everything that is Al, and maybe leave the door open for Roku and Al to work on some other things in the future.
I love that. I love that. Now, see, you've already got me like pre-excited for a Nature Trail to Hell movie because that really needs to be like its own actual movie. Oh my God, that's so exciting. Oh Lord. I'm just going to answer my same question really briefly for myself. I am just excited for new Weird Al content because I have, you get little things here and there. I loved the Hamilton polka. I loved a couple of things that have come out since the Mandatory Fun album in 2014. But I'm excited for a huge chunk of Weird Al content that I get to digest all at once. Like I've had little morsels. I've had this tour. I've had all this and the other. I am just ready to digest this movie in one take. I'm going to take it in like I would take in a brand new Weird Al album, a weird album, as we say. I would take it in that way and just let myself be immersed in it for however long the runtime is. And I'm just so pumped to just give Weird Al my brain for a little bit. Outside of a concert space, because, in a concert, like, it's like, oh, he's doing a thing I know. He's doing a thing I know. He's doing a thing I know. But like with the movie, I don't know what to expect. And it's just like a new album coming out. I don't always know what to expect. And so I'm ready for a long chunk of time where I don't know what's going to happen. Because Weird Al has spent my entire life giving me things that I wasn't expecting. And so I'm just so ready. Oh, I'm going to cry. I'm just so ready to watch this freaking movie.
Yeah, no, same. And people will see your reaction pretty soon. Or maybe now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends when they're listening to this. It's weird when you record a podcast about something that's timely because it's like, maybe that's 6 months ago. Maybe it's 10 minutes from now. Hold on. check your local listings.
Check your local listings for sure. Like, okay, if you're listening to this any day after November 4th, 2022, go to the notes of this episode because there will be a link to my reaction to having watched the movie. If you're listening to this on November 4th, 2022, sorry, the link's not there yet.
Keep refreshing until it shows up.
Refresh until it shows up. Like, give me time to watch the film.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Robert, I did not do the thing I usually do at the beginning where I say like, hey, what is your show? And all the things that you were about. So my people.
It's because I launched into my whole spiel with the beer and I was ready to be like, manifesting begins now.
Yeah.
So I kind of hijacked the beginning of your show. So my apologies for that.
So tell the people about all your stuff and I'll put links in the show notes also. Gosh, I'm
absolutely
a lot of work here. There's going to be a lot of links in the show notes.
Yeah, seriously. So I have 2 podcasts, Close Watch, where we get to know our guests through the movies they love, and Franchise Detours, where we talk about movie series. We believe no movie series travels in a straight line. If there are people who are listening to this on November 4th, then we are starting our Dark Knight trilogy mega series today with our episode on Batman Begins. We just finished The Muppets, speaking of 1980s comedy. And then after our Dark Knight trilogy, we're going to be doing Beverly Hills Cop, those films. That was the listener's choice. I put 4 different action comedy franchises up there on Twitter, and people chose Beverly Hills Cop. I'm assuming in advance of the fourth one that's coming to Netflix probably next year. So you can find both of those shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, and other podcatchers, as well as crookedtable.com. And I'm on Twitter at crookedtable.
I love it. Beautiful people. Yes. You are one of my more frequent guests, and I love it because we always have amazing conversations. I've always like we generally talk about short things that already exist, and now we're talking about a long thing that doesn't exist in the moment that we're talking about it. So like you and I have managed to like have these really great conversations about like these like nebulous things that like don't actually have a whole lot to talk about. So it's great.
We found that cross section between Weird Al and movies through the Weird Al movie when you came on my show to talk about UHF, and then the Funny or Die movie tangential skits that he did. And so now, another Weird Al movie. So of course we cross paths again.
here we go. It's beautiful, and I love it. And I hope we continue to cross paths. I hope what you manifest about him with this being the gateway to more like cinematic Weird Al content comes to fruition, because that would kind of make my day. It would make many of my days. So, Robert, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I just want to say, everybody, watch the movie today. I don't care what day it is, whether it's November 4th, the day the movie comes out, or whether you're watching this in the year, 2085. Oh my God, if somebody's listening to this in 2085, God help us all. But, watch the Weird Al movie. I have been Lauren. I always am here. Robert, again, thank you for being here. And this has been the Weird Al podcast. And, happy Weird Al movie release day!
Sorry, we got to run. We got to cancel again.